Buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
In case it hasn't been clear, welcome to Mexico. Bienvenidos, everybody. It's a real pleasure and an honor that we're all here united under such a beautiful and special occasion for our brother Danny and our sister Daniella, that you guys are coming together under such an amazing place with so many beautiful people. And so thank you all for coming from so far to join this beautiful couple in this amazing wedding that we're about to undergo. Not only is the occasion very special and the place so spectacular and the people so beautiful, we're also celebrating a very special occasion. And for us in Mexico, many of you might have heard of Day of the Dead. A lot of you guys saw Coco last night? Yes. I only saw like 5 or 6 of you. Well, you guys already know a little bit about Day of the Dead. I just wanted to invite the understanding of what it means for us Mexicans. It might be a little bit of a different conception of death as to what we're accustomed to in the Western world. But here in Mexico, today is a very beautiful day where we welcome the spirits of our loved ones, like we have here, to join us in celebrating, in rejoicing, in enjoying life. So the way we see death here is, yes, our bodies go back to Mother Earth when we die, and our spirits, which we call animas, still remain here for a long time. Like you guys saw in Coco, they remain here until we remember them, and until we remember them through these beautiful pictures and putting a candle for them. And our soul goes back to source, whatever we want to call that. But tonight, we're going to work with these beautiful spirits that are here, these beautiful loved ones that don't really go anywhere but here in this present moment. And so in this portal of time that are the past few days and the next couple of days, it's a beautiful opportunity to rejoice with them and to commune with them and to celebrate the way they would have liked to celebrate, with their tequila or their whiskey or their beans or rice and all the Tootsie Rolls and all the beautiful things that they enjoyed. We welcome them back. So with that understanding, I want us all to welcome the spirits back. Are you guys down?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right. And we're going to do it in a very Mexican way. You guys down to doing it in a Mexican way? Yeah? All right. So I'm going to do it first, and then I want you guys to do it with me. But when we're doing it, I want us to concentrate and think of all those loved ones that have left their physical bodies before we have. Their spirits are still here. We're going to call them in, and then we're going to try to presence them throughout the night. Can we do that?
Absolutely.
All right. Great. So here it goes. It's a very Mexican cheer. You might have heard it in Coco, and here it goes again. I'm not going to scream into the microphone. Can we do that? Yeah? All right. So I'll do it again, and then I want you guys to follow. All right? Here it goes. 1, 2, 3. Bien! Bravo! May we have a blessed night, everybody. May we connect with these beautiful spirits that have left before us, and may we commemorate them in joy, in love, in celebration of our beautiful Danny and Daniella, and with these beautiful spirits. Thank you all. Muchas gracias.
Let's do it this way. So you don't have to see it. Just quick. Go.
Thanks. I'll be speaking about 4 of the people depicted here on the ofrenda. They were the people who surrounded me, who showed me how to live. And now they live in my heart, in my soul, in my mind, in their children, in their grandchildren, and in their great-grandchildren. Their legacies are so rich. My dad, Popsy, as I called him when I was a kid, was a kind and gentle soul. I credit him with my deep love for music and for being outdoors, for the spice and the humor of life, for my love, my obsession with dogs and children, and for splurging with food. Above all, I am grateful to Max, Uncle Maxie, Mac, for giving me my spiritual connection. We didn't talk about it much, but it was right there as clear as could be. A deep reverence for something greater than all of us, something profound and ancient, something enduring and meaningful. My mother was a great woman, though she would never have thought of herself that way. Born Ida Middleman, known in her later years as Beans, that was short for Irene or Gabiner. She taught me how to behave, or tried to, the value of education, how to be responsible, and how to live a healthy lifestyle. My passion for politics comes from my mom, as well as my love of learning. Perhaps most importantly, she taught me how to accept what life brings with strength and resolve. Irene continued to grow as a person until her final days at age 92. She valued family above all else, and it is an honor to her memory that all 9 of her grandchildren are here today to celebrate Danny and Daniella. My brother Bob, born Robert, known as Bobby in his youth, was a charmer. He had $1 million smile. He loved making deals, playing cards, rooting for his Jets, and shooting the breeze with just about anyone. The phone was Bob's medium, and let's just say the man could talk. From my much older brother, I learned resilience, the skill to reinvent, to bounce back, and to make the most of a situation without complaining. My sister, Raina, Rags, Ragnolia Blossom, was by far my guiding light. I hear her pointing out that that was the name of a soap opera, but I digress. Raina was one of a kind, an exceptionally ethical person, and my moral compass to this day. We were very different than one another, and yet we shared the core values of commitment to family, to social justice for all people, particularly those who have been marginalized, to education, and to knowing how to have a good time. Raina loved dancing to Motown, and she loved the beach, jumping in no matter how cold it was. She is here with us this weekend with a huge smile, comfortable shoes, and a whole lot of sunscreen. She is beaming with pride because Danny continues to heed the advice that she gave him at his bar mitzvah, to always be true to who he is. At some point this weekend, I ask that you eat something decadent, ideally a hot fudge sundae, sending it back if it comes with chocolate sauce instead of hot fudge, and raise your spoon to Raina's memory.
Buenas noches. So great to see you guys all here. Thank you so much for coming. When my parents suddenly and tragically passed away 57 years ago this weekend, our community was stunned and devastated. In addition to being the center of all social activities for family and friends, they were both very active in their teenage children youth groups at our synagogue. These are my parents down in here. After they died, the community came together to raise funds, build and dedicate a teen lounge in their honor. The entrance of the room at Temple B'nai Emmet in Montebello, California, still is displaying a plaque that reads, "To Marvin and Martha Greene, for the sake of the children, the parents are honored." After they died, my maternal grandparents, who were in their late 50s and immigrants from the Ukraine, moved into our home to take care of me and my two older siblings. Despite that I probably had a better relationship with my grandfather Dave than anyone else, he was a troubled and defeated man who died just months after Joanne and I were married in 1980. The last time we saw him, he instructed Joanne and me to buy a house. My grandmother lived another 3+ years, but was blessed to meet Danny and be with him on his first birthday. I consider her the person who raised me, as I lived with her from the time I was 7 till I was 16. She had a phenomenal sense of humor, was a great storyteller, loved to cook, which to some was good, most of the time. But nothing made her happier than when somebody won a car on Let's Make a Deal, especially a person of color. I don't have pictures of them here, I'm sorry, because of the blackout. We couldn't print any at the time. But I do have some jewelry that came from them. As I was too young to really comprehend the impact of my loss at an early age, I do know that my father was a World War II veteran who fought in Europe. He was part of the 103rd Division, which I have his pin here, and that was the division that freed Dachau. I also have here a bullet that he pulled off of a dead Nazi. He actually took the gun, but I just brought the bullet. Marvin and his two brothers were partners in multiple men's clothing stores in Southern California. And he was the creative energy behind those stores, designing the floor plan and window displays on yellow pads of paper. But when not working, he dabbled in watercolors and charcoal and tiles. He loved to listen to music, especially Gershwin's Rhapsody in Blue, because he played clarinet and taught it as well. He loved baseball, especially the Dodgers, and was an early adopter of tech, which wasn't easy before 1960. My mother, also a first-generation American, met my father when he first arrived in Los Angeles at around 12 years old in 1936. They were together from that moment until the moment they died, which to me is a true definition of soulmates. Martha Glabman was the oldest of three with a big personality and a little yet voluptuous body, standing just 4 feet 10 inches tall. She loved to laugh, play cards, go to Vegas, take family road trips, and above all, raise her 3 children. So to Danny and Daniella, who were so gracious in allowing me to bring them into this celebration, I reiterate, for the sake of the children, the parents are honored.
There's going to be a song, so I'm giving this to her. Okay, here, take this.
She didn't want to sit. She's in the back. Testing 1, 2. I get your light? Could you?
I just fell out. Do you want me to hold the light for you?
Fernando's going to.
You're gonna hold it? Or you want me to?
Good evening. It's remarkable, and I'm very moved. Tonight, I get the honor to speak on behalf of my father, John Solari. My mom would call him Johnny. He was my stepfather. And what I've learned over the years is that genetics doesn't make a father. It's love that bonds a family. And boy, did he love us. He was a wonderful father and a loving husband to my mom, Millie. Some of my best memories was watching my dad barbecue while playing Frank Sinatra in the background. And he would suddenly take my mom and dance around the room to his favorite song. John was one of a kind. He was strong. He had courage like no other. Hanging from high-rise buildings in San Francisco, he was a window washer. He was a truthful man and a great brother to his sister Fran. One of his many favorite pastimes was watching sports on multiple TVs at once and spending time at his duck club with his friends, who he loved dearly, and they loved him. John had a knack for barbecuing, and if any of you, well, I know some of you out there that experienced it, he was a heck of a guy barbecuing, man. He loved his grill, and he loved his parties in his favorite backyard. His backyard was a lush green grass, many trees, and of course, fruit trees. In fact, my dad passed away while gardening under his peach tree. In preparing for this evening, my mom found a poem, coincidentally, that was written by my daughter Angelina. She's there at the top. She wrote it in honor of her grandfather. Angelina is now an angel in heaven, and for those that knew her, she was an incredible human being, always positive and very insightful. And I'd like to share her poem with you now. The poem was called Just a Peach. Just a peach, just a tree, just a trench brought him to his knees. Just a chair, so little hair. Just a smile was all we'd see. Just 2 ears and 4 eyes. Just a silence he now applies. Just a husband, just a friend, just a saint whom we'd all depend. Just a man, just a voice, just a mind to set us straight. So much love and yet so little, just a heart without a beat. Just a peach, just a taste, just a symbol of such wholeness not gone to waste. With love, everlasting Angelina. And one final note, my wish for you all, to live, love. Thank you. I'll give this to you.
Alrighty.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm going to direct my comments to Danny and Daniella because Nanu and Nana and Angelina have a message for you. They would say to you, be yourselves. They would say to you, always remember where you came from and who you came from. That's important. If you don't remember where you've come from, you'll never be steadfast in who you are. But because of them and Angelina, we're all better. We wouldn't have made it here without them. This is not a prop. These are fava beans. These are the last seeds that my dad gave me. Nanu was an avid gardener. Nanu came from a war-torn Sicily in 1949. And he met up with Nana. And look what the seed produced. These seeds are old, they're shriveled, they're worn, and they're very rustic. But inside each of these seeds, if you nurture them, water them, and care for them, they grow into stalks that are 6 or 7 feet high. And they'll make luscious fava beans that are about that long. And inside the husk, there'll be a brand new fava bean wrapped in this silky little home that you nurtured and you love. And you made it from this to this beautiful plant. Nanu gardened, I gardened, and when Daniella was so little, she would follow me in the garden with her little watering can, pouring water on me and not the plants. Know who you are. Know where you came from. And know who brought you there out of love, sincerity. You're Nanu and Nana, as anyone that would have met them would know. And Sister got this as well, although very lively and gregarious. My mom and dad were humble people. They came from simple means. That doesn't deter me. It strengthens me. My prayer for you. Danny, make her number 1. Daniella, make him number 1. You're surrounded by beautiful family and friends. We're here. We're here for you. All these beautiful people that have come, the Greene clan, the Malfitano clan, all the friends, the new friends that I've made. Love each other, nurture each other, just like when you go home and you plant these seeds and you'll watch love grow. I love you.
Thank you. Thank you. For her,
Armando.
Can I have the tissue, please? Thank you.
Isn't this amazing? Woo! Ain't she pretty? And we're gonna have some fun. December 31st, 1996, from Angelina's diary. Dear Diary, yes, today is New Year's Eve. 1997 will officially begin at 12 midnight. This year has been 1 in a million. My New Year's resolution, number 1, be better sister to Daniella, Sonia, Vanessa, Adriana, Gianna, and Vinny. 2, be better daughter to parents. 3, be a better friend. 4, keep faithful to acne meds. 5, continue to use the ab toner with a squiggly line under ab toner. 6, go on a diet. 7, continue to get straight A's. For those of you who didn't know my sister and her contagious smile, look at that smile. Let me paint the picture for you. We had the same sounding voice. You couldn't tell who was calling, albeit hers was a bit more jolly. She stood a squat 4 feet 11 inches tall, and yet her short stature just didn't and couldn't compare to her big, bubbly butt. I'm sorry, she had a big butt. For the record, I have a bigger butt. I won. Every summer, her skin would turn a dark tan tone, and she would convince everyone she was half black. Her favorite thing to do, aside from eating, laughing, and fighting all of the injustice in the world, was to shake it on the dance floor, hence her nickname, Shorty Smooth. Angelina was my big sister and is still my guide. As a little girl, she said she would never marry until all people could marry. She passed away before that day came, but it finally happened, and it's a day that I will never forget. I'll set the scene. It was June 26, 2015, the day the Supreme Court legalized gay marriage in the United States. That's right. Can I get a shout for that? Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's right. I had just landed in Los Angeles to spend the weekend with Leora, Angelina's college roommate. Where's Leora? I felt the city of angels pulling me home. And as heaven would have it, Leora and I found ourselves in Trader Joe's on Fairfax and 3rd, where we unexpectedly bumped into her friend, Danny Greene. I noticed right away a familiar, contagious smile. Thanks for the setup, sis. If there's one thing to remember about Angelina's life and legacy, it's this. Each one of us has the power and the inner strength to create change in this world. In her own words, she wrote, "We are all connected. I believe we all have the capacity to impact each other. As individuals, we must accept this responsibility and the possibility to create change. Then as a community, the impact is far-reaching and tangible. Join me in believing in the power of your impact as a mentor, as a teacher, and as an individual in this world." Angel Ange, when I look back on my life and yours, it feels like we were always connected. You're with me everywhere I go. Your spirit is my continued source of joy and strength. Thank you for never leaving my side and for leading me in every single thing that I do. And thanks for loving Danny too. Shorty Smooth, you're here dancing around us as you always do. We honor your life and we love you. And we feel your spirit come through. So with all of this, I welcome you here, my sweet paisano, my big sister, Angelina Rose Malfitano.
Recuérdame, si me tengo que ir, mi amor, recuérdame. No llores, por favor, te llevo en mi corazón y cerca me tendrás. A solas yo te cantaré, soñando al regresar. Recuérdame, aunque tenga que emigrar, recuérdame. Si mi guitarra oyes llorar, ella con su triste canto te acompañará hasta que en mis brazos tú estés.
Hello? It's okay. I can just speak like this. It's okay. I don't need it. It's my job to wrap this up and then for us to transition into a party. And I'm trying to figure out how best to do that right now. I think the best thing for us to do in this moment is two things. So first, everyone who spoke, do you guys mind just joining me up here for a minute? Sure. Did it work? All right. So I just invited Vince. These guys. And I just want to invite everybody just to take 3 big breaths, because I think that's what we can do to honor this moment, and to welcome in all of the spirits who are here around us. So thank you. Thank you guys for speaking and for sharing these memories with us and for bringing these spirits into this space and into this weekend, and more importantly, into our marriage and the life that we're going to live together. And thank you to all of you for coming together as one family in this moment. That's what this is all about. So I now invite us all to move down the stairs and then down towards the pool and out towards the beach, where we're going to take this energy, this really magical and meaningful energy, and turn it into a really amazing party. And now it's time to just give the grita! Ay, 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 ay.